Great to be here, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So I'm Divya Jagwani. As Saurabh said, I am the Associate Director for Mo Engage in Indonesia. And yes, I have been in Mo Engage almost 4 years now. Pretty long time, almost as long as Frankie and Blibli. So, all right. So let's get started. This panel is pretty interesting because we have retail, we have jobs, and we have pizza. So let's get started. In this panel, we're going to discuss about championing customer experience with product-led growth. And to join me today, I'm going to start ladies first, Aurora Marche, as co-founder, CPO of Lumina. Can have a seat there. Rajesh Grover, Group VP Digital and Omnichannel from Kanmo Group. Pak Budiono, CMO at Rupa Rupa. And Mayank Singh, Chief Digital Officer and Vice President at Domino's Pizza. Thank you. All right. You guys are getting to know each other. Have a seat. So let's get started. I'm going to start with you, Aurora. I mean, considering your background, maybe you want to just tell everyone where you've been. I mean, I've been following your growth with Traveloka and Ajaib as well. So yeah, just tell us something about yourself before I get to the questions.
Sure. Great to be here. A bit unfair, yeah. Pak Frankie bisa pakai bahasa Indonesia. I was forced to use English in this panel. But anyhow, my name is Aurora. I'm building Lumina together with my team. We are a job and community platform. Looking back, I've known Mo Engage actually circa 2016, 2017. I think we are one of the first few users when I was back in Traveloka. So really happy to see familiar names and many new names actually and faces in Mo Engage itself. I started in marketing technology during my Traveloka time, spent like 5.5 years there, quite a little bit too long in tech industry, like 5.5 years. Most of my peers already changing jobs like 2 or 3 times. I then moved leading the product team in Ajaib, and now Lumina is, as I said earlier, job and community platform. So with 2 sides, we help companies to hire fast, easily. So I heard that Mo Engage and Blibli are still hiring, so I will approach you guys. And for the workers, for sure, our app actually launched earlier this year in February. In 6 months' time, so by July we hit 1 million users.
Ooh,
so that's
awesome.
Quite a steep growth. Thank you. We started with high school graduates because we have many unemployment in high school graduates. But without us focusing too much, actually it's very natural for recruiters to start. They don't want to use multiple platforms, right? They want to use one. So we start seeing even college graduates start using our platform. So that's just how we naturally grow at the moment. Yeah, I think that's short intro for now.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rajesh, what about you? What's your story?
Stories. With Indonesia, I think I'll tell my story with respect to Indonesia. I've been in this market for the last 4 years at a stretch. Before that, I used to head Rocket Internet Asia Pacific. I was a CEO, so a lot of the brands that you see in Indonesia, Lamudi, Carmudi, all of them were part of the portfolio. And then I moved to handling 99 Group. I was the CEO for them. And then moved around to heading one of the world's largest edtech, which is Byju's, before moving to Kanmo Group to head their entire digital and omnichannel function. So my background is slightly unconventional. My bachelor's is in computer algorithms. So prior to my 20s, I used to work for governments in computer security, if there is a nicer way of saying things, where you were asked to do ethical hacking. After that, I've worked in hardcore R&D for many years, and then I've worked for MNC brands, building markets, startups in, I think, almost all geographies except for Africa. So I've been to Latin America, in Europe, in Southeast Asia, and in a lot of the markets that we have. And finally I'm here. So, and of course, I know about MoEngage from quite some time now from our previous interactions as well. So, yeah, looking forward to this interaction today.
Thank you.
My name is Budiono. I'm a CMO from Rupa Rupa. Yeah, Rupa Rupa, we are omni-channel gateway for Kawanama Group. I've been there for 5 years, and already mentioned by Pak Saurabh that Rupa Rupa already we just joined with MoEngage last month maybe. Yeah, for the approach is from 2 years or maybe 1 year before.
Since the day I joined.
You guys is really persistent. Okay, that's cool. And then in Rupa Rupa, we actually what we try to achieve with MoEngage is we specifically we want to already mentioned by Pak Venky, the cost of acquisition is more expensive than the cost of acquisition. So we understand that, and we hope that we all agree here that it will be easier and cheaper if we can retain our customer. And I think in our company that we have brand like as hardware, we have Informa, we have Toys Kingdom. We try to merge them into one mobile apps, and then we think that it's really important for us to retain the customer through a single view of the customer. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, namaste, and selamat sore everyone. My name is Mayank Singh. I am Chief Digital Officer and Vice President Marketing and Technology for Domino's Pizza Indonesia. I don't need to introduce Domino's Pizza, but I can introduce, there's a new pizza out there, which is American Pie. You must try it. It's crispy, crunchy, and fully loaded.
We're all hungry now.
Yeah, so I think we'll have it later. So I've been here for the last 4 years in this market, Indonesia. Prior to this, worked in India, worked with entertainment. Food is one of where I spent it most of the time because I was part of Domino's India also. I'm someone known for setting up the e-commerce for Domino's India way back in 2012. And here I am enjoying the Indonesia culture, food, and selling pizzas. So look forward to this interesting discussion.
Thank you. Thanks, Maya. All right, so let's get started. I think, again, going back on today's topic about product-led growth, right? So how do you think consumer brands can best leverage from this whole product-led growth approach? Aurora, I guess we'll start with you again, ladies first.
Sure. I guess okay, how many of you are marketers here? Raise your hand. Marketers. Okay, how about paid marketers, the digital marketing, the Facebook, PPC specialists? Okay. How about doing PR? Who's doing PR? Okay, so it's quite a specific audience. So most of us know the journey from consumers finding out about your brand, being aware that, okay, there's this brand A, all the way to considering when the need arises and you want to, okay, maybe if I have this need, I will consider pizza A, pizza B, pizza C, until, okay, but I really like that cheeseburger pizza that only Domino's have, then I'll get it. So that's a very long funnel, right, in marketing until you finally activate and purchase. So what are ways if after user arrives in your product, arrives in your app, in digital context, and we are not giving good first impression. So I think what matters a lot when we talk about product-led growth is after the ads-driven growth, making their work, making their magic. But when they arrive to your app, then really it's about first impression. And there are so many cliches saying, okay, great customer experience is important, but there are like almost infinite ways to improve that customer experience. Then our job is really to identify which journey matters more. And I personally think if it's like in commerce case, then probably your onboarding, that's number one. There are many other journey that you can improve, but the second will be like checkouts, right? Because some people maybe already know what they want to buy. They just download your app, find that particular item. Might be a little bit difficult, but somehow they find it. And then check out. If any of those fail during registration or checkout, then that's already leaving a very bad impression. Your CAC is wasted. And it's gonna translate into bad referrals to their friends and families. Like, I tried that one, didn't work, and I chose the alternative instead. So yeah, I think speaking of about product-led growth, how to leverage it for digital products, especially, is the first impression after they actually arrive to the Play Store or App Store.
And what are the specific challenges, right, that you come across while you're doing that?
On optimizing those journeys? Data, I'd say. So having data can be seen in at least two ways. So having access to those data, being able to track all of those data, but more importantly, if you have data but it's just lying there, right? It's not well designed in terms of the metrics, so it's also not really useful to know, like, okay, whether you're doing well or you're not doing well. It's just data. It's not an information.
That's true. Data is everything. So, all right. Mayank, what do you think about what Aurora just said, besides the cheeseburger pizza, of course?
Well, when the question is on food and with a food guy, so if you were asking me what's the approach gonna be for me, so I'll eat rice and watch MI2. I'm not joking, actually. This is what I tell to my team, and that's the framework that I've created when it comes to a product growth. So when I say rice, so the rice covers the whole categorization. The R stands for retention. The I stands for the increase the basket size. C is your improving your conversion, and the last is E is engagement. That's what is all about your product-led growth. Now, within that, when I say watching MI2, which is not that movie, Mission Impossible 2, but it is measure, improvise, and innovate within each of these categories. So when you have this framework in your place, then you are not going to miss when you are devising your approach towards product-led growth. And that's what we do. So there's a framework that we have created, and we actually follow that.
Interesting. So rice and MI2.
Eat rice and watch MI2.
And again, what are your challenges or any particular prerequisites that,
Yeah, so the major challenge when it comes to specifically on product-led growth or anything which you are trying to implement is one is the prioritization. So it's not just one thing that you would come across that you want to actually go ahead and build. There would be several things. There would be several departments who would be reaching out to you because the product that you are building is an ecosystem. It's not just a digital product. It is dependent on multiple things. There's a finance also required. So whatever you're trying to do, how to ensure that it's prioritized within the organization and there is a priority to it. The second thing is when you are going to make it happen, how are you going to communicate? And that's the miss normally we do when we realize that the customer was not properly aware of what this functionality is all about or what the product improvement that you have done. So how you're going to improve, communicate, market it, that's a challenge that you need to start thinking as soon as you are into the game. And that's where I think most of the failure happens.
Tricky part, right?
And that is something which you have to have your game on.
Good insight. So as Aurora said, for you is prioritization and, sending the right message across, right? Pak Budi, what about you?
Yeah, for me is like what we can learn, like the approach from product-led growth. Like we see, and I think we all here we use a lot of like services of Slack. Maybe you can have a Discord, or maybe you can have something other messaging platform, right? So what we learn, how we can adopt with the product-led growth is how we can see the pain point of customer. So we try to, like the PLG company, they try to identify what is the pain point of customer, and they try to solve it through their product. So in Rupa-Rupa, like we not improve or we not implement a product or a feature based on what is our need. So we visit the store, because we have like a software, we have Informa, we have Toys Kingdom, we have a lot of data actually. Yeah, like all the guys here talk about the data, right? Yeah, we have all the data, and we need to understand on how to use the data to solve the problem, to solve their pain point. So before we implement any feature, so we try to find the data, what is their need and what is their pain point, and then we implement the product. And then I think after that we measure, and this is something that this is not only in product or maybe technology department, but in marketing. This is something that really important because. When the first time I joined in Rupa-Rupa is, we create a lot of campaign. We create a lot of like initiatives. Okay, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. But do you have time to monitor it? Do you have time to review it? How about your past 11-11? Do you measure it? What is your cost ratio? And then how you can improve it? Yeah, so this is the approach that we use from the approach from product-led growth. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And I mean, while you were doing this approach, like finding the need and targeting with the needs, any particular examples you can share of utilizing this product-led growth that actually, it boosted over your overall customer experience?
Yes, there's a lot actually. The first time that the thing that we think that is really important is we have a lot of stores, right? We have more than 500 stores across Indonesia. That is our unfair advantage point. So the first thing that we need to build is we ask the customer what is their pain point when they shopping online, and why online and offline actually, yeah. So the first thing is like, if you buy online, if the product is damaged or something, or maybe defect, how can I return it? So since we have the stores, we have the infrastructures, so we create something feature that we call return at any store. So you buy it from Rupa-Rupa, you can return it into your nearest store. So these features can solve the pain point of the customer, because okay, I live, you guys here live in Jakarta, right? Maybe you don't have the difficulty to return your product, right? But if you live in the like Denpasar or maybe outside Jakarta, when you receive the product, maybe you can accept it if it's only a little defect. But if it's a big defect or something, you need to return it, and how you can return it. And I read from the book, the Amazon Jeff Bezos book. Yeah, the first feature that he built is not any kind of feature. The first feature he built is the U-turn. I mean, like how my customer can return my product easily. Yeah.
I guess that's important. That gives a bit of a trust as well that, okay, if
Yes.
something has to go wrong, and so, there is a chance of of returning. And that.
Yes.
So do you think that completely boosted the overall experience for you?
Yes, sure. That is really like make our customer really easy to return the product. And once again, like we see the approach of PLG company. I'm just asking. I just curious. Is your boss tell you, okay, you use Slack? Is there any like your boss told you, or your superior, okay, you use Slack, or you use what kind of Figma maybe? But maybe your colleague or maybe your peers, you use like okay, this is good. We compare all the things and we just came up using like Figma or maybe use Slack, right? So this is like a word of mouth. So that is really important that when we implement one of the features, the good things is the customer will talk to the friend. The customer will share their experience to the friends and they become our customer too. They say, oh keren ya, bisa gitu ya, gampang banget ya. So this
word
is
of
that
mouth, yeah.
Word of mouth is really important because what we see the approach from the PLG company is the word of mouth is really, really important. Yeah, because I think my boss or I never told my team to use like Google Meet or maybe like Microsoft Teams, right? They choose which one is better for their needs, right? Yeah.
Makes sense. Thank you, Ba. Rajesh, what about you? Let's you're both coming from the similar space.
Yeah, I think
you share the same thought.
My philosophy is slightly different. I like to believe in simplicity. I hope everyone can hear me now. Yeah. So my philosophy is slightly different. It's more towards simplicity. I do not like jargons. I hate jargons. Product-led growth for me, or any kind of growth for any company, for me starts and ends with customers. Very, very simple. And I think half the time we don't listen to the customers. Customers tell you everything you need to know about your product through data. Unfortunately, a lot of times we get, bogged down by traditional terms. I mean, I heard Aurora was asking you a lot of digital marketing guys, and I can tell you if you ask digital marketing people, they'll talk about the 3 funnels, top funnel, mid funnel, bottom funnel. They'll talk about all the metrics, the KPIs that are there, and a number of dashboards that are there, starting from anything to do with impressions, impression shares, CTR, CVR, blah, blah, blah. Those are nothing. Those are simply data points. They don't tell you a story. If you don't look beyond and understand why your customers, for example, are not checking out, is it because your promos were not strong enough? Is it because your SKUs were not strong enough? Is it because you had broken SKUs in your promotions? Or the landing page wasn't optimized? I mean, yes, the matrix will tell you everything, but I think a lot of times we overcomplicate stuff. And one of the easiest way, and for me, I mean, technology only makes sense if it is going to help me get to know about my customer more. That's the job of technology. It should make the life of one, my customer easy. Number 2, for me to get to know my customer better. Why they like me, why they don't like me. If they're coming to my site, they're coming to my platform and buying something, I want to know why they're buying it. If they're not buying it, I want to know why they're not buying it. CTRs, conversion rates, all of those are answers that the customers are giving you as to why they like your product or they don't like your product. And any data platform or technology for me at that point, if they are not helping answer or getting me an option to understand my customer and get an answer, then it doesn't add up. It is just a tech part that we are using to do it. Rather, I think we should look beyond and hence, and the only way, fortunately, in the tech world, data is the way a customer responds. They are telling you what they like. They are telling you what they don't like about your product or of your service. And it's for us to pick that up and then to analyze and understand and then to make the respective changes and then not just get bogged down by the metrics. So for me, that is, what I see as product-led growth. It still starts and ends with customers. And it works. It has worked, and it is challenging because a lot of times, and good or bad, Google, Facebook has made us lazy marketeers, to be very, very honest. And I'll be honest, and if guys were sitting there, I can tell you it is a fact. We put up a creative, we run campaigns, and Google and Facebook does the rest for us. And then we look at dashboards and we talk about all the metrics. But then do we actually understand why our customers are not landing on our pages, or they're landing and they're shopping or they're not shopping? That is something which sort of gets missed out, I believe, and I think that is something that we need to pick up, because that's the only way we will be able to actually make customer experience better, by knowing what my customer likes and why does he not like it.
That's an amazing way to put to it, right? Understand what your customers actually want, because most of us here almost don't, right?
I mean, it's a fact. I mean, we would love to feel. I'll give you simple examples. In one of my previous companies, and it's from the world's largest tech company. So the insights that we thought when we launched a particular product was that it was a course that we launched. It was called music, and I mean, the pinnacle of, for example, if you were to do a course in engineering and you have a tie-up with MIT. It's a pinnacle, and we had a tie-up with the Royal School of London Music and the Trinity School of Music, in the UK, and we were like that is the pinnacle of music. This course will sell like crazy, and literally we were the only ones who had this, and we ran ads, and we were giving free trial classes to everyone, and literally, you see the dashboards, the simple results, and despite giving free trial classes for a course which is directly accredited with Trinity School of Music, the only ones in the world to do that. In dashboard terms, the CTR was really bad. And then you have to go and look beyond saying, okay, the creative is not working. Okay, why is the creative not working? You need to have an answer. Because unless you understand, we are reaching out to the customers, we are reaching out to a lot of audience, we are reaching out to music lovers, and still not performing. And we broke it down into 7 different parts to figure out what could be potential issues, and what worked was something which is very, very trivial. If you tell the answer, people will be like, yeah, of course, but isn't it common sense? But a lot of times we miss common sense, despite being as big a company as you think. In our music product, we forgot to put a musical instrument in the background, literally. Second run of creatives, we literally just put a guitar creative in the background, and our CTR went upwards of 2%, which is crazy high. So the thing is, the creative did not work is one answer. Why it did not work, and to break it down into 7 parts to understand why the people who love music are still not lacking it, is the second step. So data has to speak to you, and data does speak to you. Our customers did tell us that we don't find your creative attractive enough for us to click. Then it's on us now to take it a step further and to analyze and to make changes.
Wow, that's an interesting way to put it. So, all right. Now, what role, right, do you think does customer engagement play in all this? Aurora, what do you think? This whole product-led growth strategies in engagement, right? Like, how does it impact retention and the acquisition?
Depends how you define customer engagement, I suppose. So I think it is one of the words that if you meet 10 different people, they will give definition differently, like what is engagement. But I like to see it as a holistic approach of how you communicate with your customers, right? So push notification is one of them, but that's not the only way. The in-app notif is one of them, but that's not just it. It's every single touch point that we have, be it the one that we push to them or the one that they interact organically with our app, or even when they talk to your customer service is part of engagement. So how important it is? Definitely important, because again, there are so many different parts of the organization that is in charge with this touch point, that is in charge with communication with your customers. And it's not easy to actually make a cohesive and coherent messages across everything, especially if your company is very big. In Lumina, we are still very small. We are less than 30 people company. So if we are changing direction from, we say, okay, let's say we are blue collar job platform. And then we change to, we are career super app. This is an early stage startup still trying to find who are we, right? No, oh no, we are a job and community platform. That's the current script that we use. That's what I used earlier in this presentation. It's still easy because we are less than 30 people company. But imagine when you already have so many different people, different level of technology deployed to each of them, then it's getting more difficult, especially when it's lacking governance, I suppose. Because in some parts you rely on human, and anything executed by human prone to error. Even if you already prepare certain script, they can deviate from the original message, or probably your script is not complete enough that it goes to another if statement that you haven't covered. Okay, how should I deal with if a customer asks me this kind of question? So of course you will learn as you go. But the good news, I suppose, if we do it well, then your customers is really highly engaged and can do more meaningful actions within your ecosystem. Then you can see, metrics-wise, right? You will stop feeling happy when you see download numbers increase, because it takes courage for us to actually see, okay, what is the right metrics to measure, depending on your product, of course. Some are transactional products. You want to see, okay, how many repeat customers buying certain type of product in certain interval. That's a more meaningful metrics, right? So if we do it right, just make sure you also measure it correctly, because otherwise you do certain approach, but then you measure it with something else that's still vanity, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. So basically, measure on what exactly you're looking for, not just clicks and just impressions, but actual conversions. Okay. Pak Budi, what about you?
Yeah. For me, like the engagement, of course, it's important. The reason is we don't want our apps become in one of the recommendation to uninstall in your phone. Yeah, that is simple. Yeah, because not only that, but the first thing is have you ever tried to try to clear up your space from your phone, right? So when you clear up your space and then the recommendation from Apple or from Google, okay, this is the program or the software that you less engage, and you can install it, uninstall it safely. We don't want to be there, right? So I think that's very simple and very direct, and we don't want to be there. So, but the goal is actually we want to understand our customer. So we create our engagement we have to understand our customer. So because maybe it's like a human, if you can communicate with the different style with different people, then you understand who your conversation with. And the same happen with the user and in your apps or in your website. So if you understand what they need and what they want, how we can incentivize them, and that is really make a difference in our conversion rate actually. So the thing that we understand lately is we understand we can measure the intention of the customer who wants to buy something. Let's say there is a 3 customer. We can measure which of the 3 customer is the have the highest intent to buy for us a sofa. So we can identify okay, this person already see our 4th picture and then already explore and browse the same category for 3 times a day, and we know that the intention is higher, so we can engage them without give them incentive, higher incentive. So I think for the thing is we want to run our marketing in a more efficient and effective in the term of cost ratio. So if we can engage with them personally, or maybe we can give them hyper personalized, hyper segmentation or something like that. We can see the difference and the more conversion. That's from Michael.
And I mean, what advice would you have to everyone taking that product-led approach and the whole engagement approach?
Yeah, actually the same like you use. We see the analogy using a Trello, right? Who use Trello here? Trello, yeah, a lot of people here I see use Trello. You engage with them, and then maybe when you need an add-ons, maybe you can purchase, right? Because we believe when we engage with them, we communicate with them, we try to understand them, and then we believe if we give them a good or best experience, maybe they need more than our usual product. Maybe they need another service of our product. So I think, to learn from the PLG strategy, we try to make sure they like the what you call it, the time spent on your apps. We can make sure the user, the customer time spent on your apps is higher. How you can make them higher, spend longer time in your apps? You give them a relevant content, right? Because if I send all of you here okay, I have the sofa, maybe that's don't relate to me. I don't need sofa. I need my anabul here needs food, then sofa. Yeah. So I have to understand. So you need to understand what is your customer needs before we try to engage them and bombard them with the unrelated content. So just want to make sure, and I think Moengage have that feature, right?
Of course. Of course. So yes, I mean, understanding your customer data is at the heart of what we do, right? Because there's no engagement without understanding what
and to solve their pain point.
Exactly. Yeah, and sending the right message at the right time to the right people.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for that, Pa. Mayank, what about you? I mean, in terms of engagement and retention in this whole product-led growth, and any advice you would like to share?
So, one that I would agree with what Rajesh was saying. Make it simple, but the simplicity requires a structure. The customer voices are of course very important that you should be hearing, but the voices are like those fishes in the sea. And you should know which fishes are you going to catch and what are those right areas to put your nets on, so that you are having those right fishes in place, and then you know what they are going to talk to you. So that is very, very important, which is having it simple and making it structured. When you were talking about the whole retention to engagement, so if you would have noticed, my rise has starts with retention, right, and it ends at engagement. So, which is what is very important. Engagement is, if I would have to define it differently, it's actually loyalty. And as was saying, that if the customers are uninstalling your app, then what are you going to do? Which is what engagement and your loyalty becomes very important part. And that's where how are you going to use the data and function it in terms of utilizing it. Like, I'll give you an example of a small story recently that happened at Domino's. Domino's has its own mobile ordering app. We call us as a technology company, happen to sell pizzas. That's how we call us globally. And Domino's globally known for delivering the pizzas, expert in delivery. But in this market, there are super apps. They are our competitors as well as collaborators. Now, having said that, do I go ahead and start competing with them, or do I have to have a different approach? We said, let's change the battlefield. The delivery has been the competition. What about takeaway? Takeaway is also an equivalent area where the customer are engaging with us. And the app already had an option to do a takeaway, but is it enough? Is it solving the problem? We went back, started to understand what are the pain points with what user gets when it comes to takeaway. What is he experiencing? And we realized the queue is one pain point. He has a long waiting area time. He's placing the order, sitting, doing nothing, and how to improvise that. And as I was talking earlier, the communication is also important. So we came up with a Pizza Pass program, which was to ensure how we can digitalize the whole takeaway experience, which is where I have a competing ground for the app into the business, increasing the contribution. At the same time, I'm communicating to the customer by this method called Pizza Pass, which is a 2 minutes pickup guarantee. And within 2 minutes, if you are not able to pick the pizzas, your pizza is free, the way we do it in delivery. So that was the first time, I think, in Asia we had this implementation. Now what happens is that the user can use the app, place the order while starting from office, wherever he can track the whole ecosystem of where the pizza is in the oven or on the make line, is being packed. And as soon as he's within the 100 meter of the store, he can just check in on the app. And if he's in the car, he can just mention his car number, that the CSR would come to deliver the pizza to the car, which is he doesn't need to go inside the car, no waiting time there. And the same point is that if he wants to go inside and pick up, that's where the 2 minute guarantee is. He has to just scan a QR code, not like what Saurabh had, so a different one, wherein he just need to scan the QR code. As soon as he scans, the CSR would know. CSR is the customer service representative. He would know that the customer is here. He will immediately deliver the pizza to the customer. And if he doesn't do that, there's a timer going on. 2 minutes or it's free. The pizza is free. That's what he'll receive. So that has been, again, a changer in terms of how to ensure your app being adopted. The engagement is there and you retain your customers.
You're really hitting the pain point there. 2 minutes or free. I hope when I order the next time.
Maybe we should try.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, while we have you, Rajesh, what about you, and what do you think of what Mayank just said?
I think I was thinking of the same thing what Mayank was saying. Engagement is extremely important. At the same time, it is extremely difficult, especially given in current context. And I think the only thing that I would say, and again, like I said, for me, it's about simplicity and understanding what a customer looks for. In a market like this, where we have super apps, Tokopedia, Blibli, Shopee, I'm not going to compete with them if I have a standalone brand.com app. I'm not. It's literally going to be stupid of me to do that. Because let's be very honest, I'm a customer. I love my brands, but I have to be very realistic of what customers would look for. On a double-digit date, for example, I tell you that an XYZ brand, and I only sell, let's say, one single product, and I'm running a promotion, versus a Blibli sending out an app notification saying, guys, 50% off all tech products or all baby and kid products or all healthy products. You are going to click that because it's a marketplace. So I need to pick and choose my battles. I need to pick and choose the channels where I know my customer would actually pay attention to my brands and would be more susceptible to listening. And on a double-digit day, me sending out push notifications is me trying to tell myself, I did my part of engaging with customers. That's it. But I can tell you, none of you will click that. All of you will click Tokopedia, Shopee, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure if at the same time, Grab, Gojek, food is running the same, people are going to click that. Let's be very honest. 50% off across all restaurants. You're not going to go specially and say, okay, let me go on Domino's. It's a fact. So you pick and choose, your engagement channels. And in digital world, there was a study, a customer moves around 5.34 touch points before they finally end up doing the purchase. So there are 5.34 channels that your customers are actually interacting with you before they make a purchase. This is not one of the channels. I would rather reach out to my customer through WhatsApp or through email or through some other form of engagement, which would make more sense. Easier said than done, I'll be very, very honest. There was a study by Meta a couple of weeks back. I was going through it. It said that on an average, an Indonesian Gen Z customer goes through 92 meters of content on their phone. Now imagine if I have an ad which is 2.5 centimeters. How do I make you stop in that 92 meters? I would love to, but will I be able to do it successfully? Maybe, maybe not. So I need to think smart. I need to be creative. Yes, one way is to tell myself and to fool myself by saying, I ran a lot of ads. I'm sure people are looking at it. And the other way is try to figure out where exactly would my customers be. And there was an experiment we did with one of our brands where we realized that a lot of the customers were actually shopping, and surprisingly, and we had a big dilemma there as well, that they were shopping between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. Like recurringly, every single day, between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. we had a big spike in our transactions. Now, the challenge is, I know my customers are shopping. The bigger problem is, do I send them communication? Because 1 to 3 a.m. is very stupid. I can't. And had about, of course, bit of debate this way, that way, and then finally said, what? Let's try and see if we send latest the communication by 10 p.m. at night, if that helps. And it was purely we sent to a very, very limited group of customers, because we didn't want the next day our customer service being bombarded with complaints saying, hey guys, are you gone out of your mind, sending emails and WhatsApps at 10 p.m. at night. And it worked wonders for us. So we were able to, and the only way for us to do that was, we sent out saying that, before 12 a.m. so-and-so promotion is ending if you want to try it out. So we actually had a lot of customers who typically were shopping between 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. who now started shopping before midnight with that. So something very small, something very little, but it's like we just wanted to try to understand this is the channel that works for our customers. And again, we have multitude of brands. It doesn't work for all our brands because we tried that as well. And then we realized that what works for one of our brands doesn't work for the other brands. So again, it's about being simple, understanding, listening to your customer, and trying to pick and choose your battles, because in a market like Indonesia or in most markets, you cannot and you should not fight the big players like Power Frankie there.
All right. Okay, makes sense. So know your customers, know where you stand, and deliver the right message, and of course, being simplicity. Right. I think we're out of time. I would like to just ask some of you here. I think some of you already gave some advice, but Aurora, would you like to give advice to everyone here who's taking the product-led growth approach?
Very quick one, I guess. Echoing simplicity there, right? So, I'm convinced. So what is the biggest sin that we as product marketers, product managers, and product designers do from time to time, even myself, still fall into that temptation? Any guess? Biggest sin of product people? Exactly. You think you're the customer and you don't listen to your customers. It happens to us too. So what happened was our app, I shared earlier that we became a career super app. So when a user open our app, you see everything, like literally everything. You find that, okay, you can find jobs here, you can post UGC here, you can share pictures, you can hear this video, audio, articles, so many different things. Oh, taking online courses as well. Like, we have so many things for you. Like, but that's not what the customers want. The customers really just, I need the job and that's it. Like, at one point, our homepage, the one above the fold, very small screen, right? Somehow we managed to fit all the marketing promotional items there, all the videos that you need to see and everything. And we realized that this is not the right way to go. If what they look for is jobs, then we need to be very focused. I think by now it's 80% of the above the fold section is already refactored into just jobs. But yeah, I think that's what everyone just needs to remember, that we are not the customers. You can argue you are, because, for example, I used to work in a retail investing app, right? So I'm an investor myself, So I can say, okay, I am a customer. I can build things that is suitable for me. But remember, you are just one out of so many different personas. You might be in the same age category. You might be in the same geography. But remember, you have different psychography, segmentation, for example. What is your economic status? What is your investment goal and all that? So just because you are your customer in certain category, it might not represent the whole thing. And yeah, just try to be honest to ourselves. Just admit it that we do it from time to time, and take a step back, correct. You'll do it again, but then you'll realize again and fix it. I think that's it.
That's good. So you are not your customer, and obviously less is more. Mayank, did you give your advice?
The last advice I would like to give is we start utilizing the data. We have heard enough that the data is the new fuel, not food. So data is the new fuel, but that fuel also requires refining before it's being used. Unlike similarly how the petrol is taken out and then it is refined and you get out the byproducts, two products from gasoline to oil. That's what the data will also give it to you. So invest your efforts towards mining the data and then segmenting and utilizing the data. That's the advice for everyone.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think it was great. I think I learned quite a bit as well myself. I would like to, put it out there. Anybody has questions? No? All right. In that case, thank you so much. Aurora, Rajesh, Babudi, Mayank, I think this was great. If you guys have any questions, they'll be around the room. And yeah, feel free to just reach out to them. Thank you.